Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content.
In the streets of Dearborn, shouting, shoving, and even punches thrown tonight as anti-Islam activists clashed with pro-Muslim counter-protesters in the heart of the city. It began this afternoon near the Schaefer Road and Michigan Avenue area and lasted for several hours.
Things got so heated it drew a heavy police presence. CBS News Detroit's Heath Kalb was there as those two sides squared off.
Well, it all began around 4 this afternoon with some protesters chanting Americans against Islamification. Soon after, counter-protesters showed up and the two sides began to clash all afternoon long here in Dearborn.
That's not what America looks like!
Anti-Islam demonstrators clashed with counter-protesters Tuesday in one of America's most Muslim cities as a group of a few dozen marched towards Dearborn City Hall shouting Islamophobic rhetoric.
How are they coming to us and saying that we're all about division, we're all about Sharia law? They're coming here giving us nothing but hatred.
The dueling demonstrations all stem from when Anthony Hudson, a Republican candidate for governor, falsely said that there was Sharia law in Dearborn. He later walked back those statements.
If we're going to bring these people together, then we need to lead by example and come down here, put boots on the ground, walk with these people, and show that we can come together.
Hudson led a march with supporters of his advocating for his slogan, Fix Michigan. But it was another group of demonstrators, not condoned by Hudson, on that same route that stirred the pot.
We don't respect you. We want you out of our country.
That man, Jake Lang, is not from Michigan and is currently running for office in his home state, Florida. He was also pardoned by President Donald Trump for his involvement during the January 6th riot. Tuesday night, he attempted to burn a Quran and then taunt counter-protesters with bacon. A heavy police presence kept an eye on the dueling protests. We did see one person being led away in cuffs, and we're working to find out what, if any, charges he'll face. Now, other counter-protesters we spoke to told us that they hope what happened here today sheds some light on what they're calling hateful demonstrations from people outside of Dearborn who are mischaracterizing this city. Reporting here in Dearborn, Heath Kalb, CBS News Detroit.
Clear and slight the Muslims. They don't know how to behave. There was a church takeout. Violent. It was I don't want to be anywhere near church. I don't want to be in church. I'll play with you Muslim sympathizers. That's not great. That's not great.
In a Dearborn meeting that people got
Look for the Garden Club of Dearborn online or contact me. I'll be happy to connect you. But it's a wonderful brunch and amazing raffle baskets. So one of my favorite holiday traditions coming up. And I just like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving next week. I'm looking forward to spending time with my son who's coming in from out of town with his fiance. So hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
So famous people showed up in Dearborn, Michigan to protest. This is one of, not famous, but he kind of got rolled when he went to the No Kings protest. This first person.
Thank you.
Got kind of rolled when they started making people come up and have discussions about why there was such an issue in Dearborn, Michigan. See, Dearborn, Michigan has a population of over, I want to say 90%, maybe I don't even know, because the Muslim
They were not.
the Arab population, Muslim Arab population, is huge in Dearborn since 1800s. Since the 1800s, they have been moving to that Dearborn city since then. And so in the Census Bureau, people really hadn't paid attention. The Census Bureau lists Muslim as white. So if you go to Dearborn, they have Yemenis, they have Iraqis, they have Palestinians, right? Refugees from the war. And the biggest Islamic center of America, one of the largest in the country, right? But when you do the Census Bureau, it's over 55 to 60% Muslim that run Dearborn, Michigan. And they're mixed in with white in the Census Bureau because they don't do it by religion, I guess. 55%, 60%. So basically, that whole city is overrun by Muslims. 4% black, 2% Asian, 3.6% Hispanic. So this is where the clash came. The clash, as you heard, came from a candidate who was running for mayor who said they are practicing Sharia law in Dearborn. And this sparked this huge backlash, this huge protest that happened Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. So this is the meeting. This is the town hall meeting that people showed up and acted up. So we have some people that you might recognize and then some people you might
Here
not.
at that time,
So they're going to let these people talk.
Yusuf Nasser or Christopher English.
This black guy is a famous famous TikToker.
They're not, then we'll go to the next one. Just a kind reminder, 3-minute limitation, and the clerk will let you know when there's 30 seconds left, okay? And thank you. And just a kind reminder to address the council. You're here to address the council and be respectful of everybody in the audience. If you'd like to speak, you're more than welcome to speak and come up, but please no outbursts, okay?
If you all remember that dude who got rolled at the No King protest, they threw him out because he was talking crazy, the black guy. This is him. He's at the meeting.
We have Andre Williams.
How you doing? It's good to be here. I speak here as of course, a resident of Detroit, a veteran, someone who's firm in my belief as a Christian, as an American nationalist. We came here today to send a message that American towns and cities will not be Islamified. We do not want this in our country. We're against that. And there's a message for white Americans and black Americans. The identity of our country is firmly rooted in our history and who we are as Christians. We should never reject that. We should never go past that. We should never let that down. We should put it up and put it forward. We have two prime examples, one in Europe and one happening in Nigeria, the slaughter of Christians in Nigeria and the invasion of Europe from Islamic countries. Now, of course, we know that our foreign policy over the last 40 years has been detrimental to the United States on the behalf of Israel. I oppose that. But does not mean that we're going to open our borders to a bunch of people into our country. We're no longer going to do that. Gen Z, I believe, is opposed to mass migration. We're opposed to the destruction of our country. We're opposed to everything that the prior generations have allowed. We're no longer going to allow that. And I speak firmly on that. And proudly, as a black American, as a Christian, against what is happening in our country. I hear about all this hate that we brought to Dearborn, but myself and people who've been here with us, we've been met with a great hate since we've been walking up and down the street, Michigan Avenue. I've been spit on. I've been called a house Negro, a coon, everything under the book because I'm black and I care about my country. Imagine that. That's the nation we stand in. If you stand for your country, you're called everything under the book. If you stand for your people, whether you're white or black, Hispanic, Arab, you're called the enemy of the people. That's the time we live in, and I'm disgusted by it. Walking with white Americans saying that I'm a Christian and I believe in this country feels like I'm in the 1950s. I feel like I'm a somebody from the South, a white person from the South walking with a black person. To see on the other side the pain is disgusting. The fact that Americans cannot be proud of their faith and stand firm in their faith against what we're seeing across the Western world and to be opposed to it and be met with calls of Nazi and fascist. Well, that's what you want to call us. If that's what you want to bring to us, hatred. Well, we will stand firm in what we believe regardless of how much you hate us. Because our belief is in God, our belief is in our country, our belief is in our people. And we promote that each and every day until death. I think that's something that our history shows. We are not fearful of anyone.
You have 30 seconds.
We're not fearful of anyone in this country. Americans have built the world. We've bring great things upon this world. And as Christians, we've done much to civilize the world. And we will not allow anyone to tell us we cannot be Christian, that we cannot say what we want in this country, because we've built this country into what it is. And we allow people to come over here and have their say. Well, guess what? We say no to Islamification of the United States and all of Western civilization. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You see that crazy shit right there? What's going on? What is going on with these people? What the hell happened? I could have sworn that Dearborn, Michigan had accepted that it was a assimilation, and then that the Arab people, Muslim people were what the hell is going on? I mean, when did this tension start? I mean, I'm assuming it's not one particular flashpoint, but around religion or immigration, but I believe it happened. See, this is the bad part. When you have a president that demonifies other, this is what we're going to have, because you have the rise of the white supremacists, the white nationalists, right? And then now they're cracking down, or they want to crack down, and they see this city as a problem.
Okay, folks, as we indicated, please do not have any outbursts. Okay, next speaker we have is Othman Al-Ansi.
Othman Al-Ansi, 7441 Kentucky Street.
I pronounced it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Council President, members of the council, today Dearborn witnessed two very different kinds of protests. The first was led by Anthony Hudson, someone who arrived here with fear in his heart and stereotypes in his mind, but after walking our streets, visiting our mosque, and speaking with our residents, his entire perception changed. He admitted that the media lied to him, and what he found instead was hospitality, kindness, and community. The second protest was the opposite. Individuals who came here to shout and chase attention. And to them I say, you're still welcome to sit with us, enjoy shawarma, Yemeni tea, and see who we really are. You don't have to agree with us to break bread with us. And to our young people especially, do not give in to these provocations, the attention they crave. They feed off your reaction, your videos, your anger. Show them instead your manners, your character, your discipline. Let them shout into the wind while you embody the values your parents and grandparents raised you with. Over the past year, I've prayed in church. I prayed in the mosques, and I visited the churches. Different languages, different traditions, but the same prayer: peace, safety, and unity for our city and our neighbors. At the end of the day, we are not a city of strangers. We are a family of neighbors, and no amount of outside noise will change that. Thank you.
I mean, what? Why do we have this tension? And I get it. The problem is when you fear. I believe you can see when somebody said that it was going to be whites were going to be a minority in this country in 25, 30 years. You almost saw the fear start rolling over people. Okay. And that's and it's just a natural migration pattern. I don't understand. They just went nuts. Trust no Muslims. We see that in the chat. The debate over the mosque using outdoor speakers for the call to the prayer is what really led to all of this anxiety. Some of the residents complained about it. Early morning noise, city noise laws. others argued it was religious freedom. This music on the outdoor speakers, similar to church bells, I guess. Okay, so the city tested it out, and they found out that one mosque they found it was kind of loud, so they turned it down. And I was like, okay, so they're fighting over public nuisance rights, religious rights. But then it turned into something else. It turned into a racial thing, or a Muslim thing, or a Catholic thing, or a nationalist thing. I don't know, but it got out of control.
Thank you, sir.
What's the next person?
Right as well.
This is the person that actually sparked all of this stuff off. This person right here. This was a candidate for mayor or candidate for something. I couldn't remember. He was a candidate, and he said they were practicing Sharia law inside the city, inside of Dearborn. And this is what sparked half of the protest.
You have 30
If I'm
seconds.
not welcome in Dearborn, should I win this race and become the next governor of Michigan, if you can't apologize to an American citizen, then I'll proclaim that you're not welcome in my state. We are all equal, and we better start acting like it. Leadership needs to lead by example, not from fancy seats behind a podium, but by example. You have to set the tone and the precedence in this community so that people like me don't need a damn vest to come here and walk down your streets peacefully with Muslim citizens of this community.
Your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. All right, next we have Jason Ox. Is that correct, sir?
I mean, it's just hatred. It's a fear of the other, okay? I mean, it's a lot of people that the police and the city officials, they highlight Arabic, Islamic elements, and it sparks backlash because white people say this is their country. They think this is just their country, okay? And this is the problem that is coming in. When you don't want to share the power structure, when you don't want to share the importance. But Dearborn has had Muslim people there forever. You have walked down the street of Dearborn forever and seen Muslim people. Okay? It's wild.
No, DYE. I was trying to write on a...
Okay, is it Jason?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Well, I did have a speech prepared, but with the events that happened today, I want to make clear of some things here. I've had some Muslim people come up to me and say, if you're coming in peace, how come you're carrying your pistol with you? I got news for you, my friend. That is the peacekeeper. That's what keeps peace in this country. Everybody worried about Sharia law, which we found don't exist. I myself was brainwashed by the lamestream media. I came down here. We had the courage, and we came and talked to people. We entered mosques. We were welcomed with open arms. We didn't have any opposition. We also didn't come down here and say, we're burning your Quran. We also didn't come down here and say, we're throwing bacon on you. By the way, is that what Jesus would do? I don't think so. In any way, shape, or form. It's the most un-Christian Jesus thing that could ever be done. And I would suggest studying to show yourself approved. Literally. Now, on to the mayor here. We are a constitutional republic governed by the United States Constitution and the laws. When you are acting in capacity of a mayor, like these gentlemen are acting in capacity of police officers, you are not a Muslim, you are not a Christian, you are not nothing. You are the mayor. You are only to answer to the United States Constitution, and that's it. And it's fine. People make mistakes. Just apologize. Anthony apologized. That's what men do. You know what I mean? We made mistakes. He made mistakes. Hell, man, we thought we were coming down here into a freaking battle, and all we battled was food and coffee. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, we've been brainwashed on this stuff since a child. Literally, you know, a lot of us went and signed up to go to war and didn't realize who the true enemies were. Now we do. And I think this is their biggest fear. But at the same time, Give respect to get respect. I audit police officers. I audit government officials, all these different things. If I come in there and they say, what are you doing? And I go, First Amendment protected activity. How you doing, sir? Guess what? That video don't get nothing for views. If I come in there and they say, what are you doing? And I go, I invoke my fifth. Get out of my face. Guess what that does? 100,000, 20,000. See what I mean? People want the controversy. If this was all for votes and political stuff, we'd have just lied. Put a little AI thing of the prayer. You know what I mean? No, we tell the truth. This is the blue collar, we the people, ditch digging campaign. This is by the people, for the people. This is the Constitution. This is what it is. It's the only reason I'm helping him. I hate both parties. I think both parties are two wings on the same diseased Masonic bird, to be quite honest with you. I'm about unity and we the people. I've tried to tell.
But this is not about left and right. This is about Muslims and the fear that they're taking over your city. This has nothing to do with left or right. Don't make it about politics. That's not what this is.
Anthony to run on Don't Tread on Me. You know? Like, we're done with the corruption. And there is corruption. And we're going to find it. And that's what I do. I sift out government corruption, and then you find out. You know what I mean? FAFOs, my favorite line.
I'm sorry, your time has expired.
You guys have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now we get to the real deals. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I mean, that's wild to me. We were all born here. Why do you feel as though, because you're a majority in some way, shape, or why do you feel as though you have the say or you have the final say? I don't understand. These Hispanic, HQ Les was on his phone recording. That last guy. Yeah, he was on, yeah.
Hello, my name is Jaden Scott. I'm from Bay City, Michigan. Guys, I'm honored to be here today in the largest Muslim city in America, and personally let the city council know that as of today, November 18th, Patriot Governor Greg Abbott has designated CARES and the Muslim Brotherhood a domestic terrorist organization.
What?
Expect that to follow across the country. Mayor Abu, we know your relationships with George Soros and the Muslim Brotherhood. And
we got goofies going on. Oh, they had Goofy show up. They went ballistic. He's talking about George Soros. The minute I hear somebody say George Soros, I know there's some issues. There's some screws going off loose as hell inside of the whole program. This person just said George Soros. Now we know we have goofy shit going on that showed up in Dearborn.
And CARES. After Anthony Hudson made his post, you had a coordinated. It's my 3 minutes. Thank you. No outburst. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, this is wild. There's going to be some stuff going on there.
You led a coordinated attack through the press releases with CARES. We know it, and we are ashamed of you. You speak as a representative of the Islamic community. Today, Christians march through this city because of your comments. You are a representative. Hold yourself to a higher decorum. We're in Dearborn, Michigan. This is the home of Henry Ford. This man put America on wheels and also wrote a famous book that spoke about another takeover of our country. Muslims and Christians, take a look up here. There's Muslims and there's Christians.
Sir.
And there's Muslims and there's Christians up here. There is one man who stands out. We are all Gentile to these people. We're all Goyim. And we must stand firm. Christ is King. America first. Michigan first. Patriots first. Mayor Abu. The Muslim Brotherhood is designated a domestic terrorist, and so is the CARES organization in Texas. Expect that to follow across America. Everybody have a great day.
American terrorist? When did this start? What's going on? See, this is what I blame the internet for. People have lost their mind on the internet. They have become radicalized on the internet. They have radicalized these kids.
Thank you.
Same.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we get We get this is wild. This is them acting up, going to Dearborn. Here we go.
All right, Mr. Edward Lang.
Mr. Edward Lang. This is the guy who got pardoned by Donald Trump for January 6th. And he's running for a senator or some kind of representative down in Florida. He comes and stirs the pot at this town meeting, right? And this is what made the news. It made me look at it. These people have become radicalized. And I blame the internet, and I damn sure blame Donald Trump for putting this in motion.
All right. Commander Madu, you guys got to keep it down. Okay.
In 1900, the world was 30% white. Fast forward 125 years, we are down to 7%. The Islamification of Europe is particularly aimed at the destruction of white people. The Islamification of America is aiming to meet the same goal. Our people, white Christian, European, Western civilization, we built the arts. Mm-hmm. We built the Colosseum. We have ran the world into the industrial age. And now, this people here.
Wait a minute, didn't he just say the world was 30% white and now it's only 7%? So obviously, you're not meant to be the leader of this particular world or this particular movement. Obviously, white people are not meant to be the leaders or the particular beacon of light for everybody else. If you're down to 7%, he just said we started at 30%, now we're 7%. What's going on? Goofy, that should tell you something.
The Muslim community is looking to drag us back. They're looking to oppress women, oppress homosexuals. They're looking to destroy everything that makes America great. President Trump, send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country to destroy our way of life. We know exactly your laws in your book about lying to our faces, pretending to be Americans, wearing your suits. But that doesn't happen anywhere else where you guys are in charge. There are 53 Muslim majority countries. And in all of them, it is tyranny, destruction. It is shithole living. We have to call it what it is. You guys don't live like we do. We don't want you in our country. We will come and eat your shawarma in Somalia, okay? We don't need it here in Michigan. We don't need it in any part of America. We have a right to self-determination. Our founding fathers fought and died for our posterity, for white Americans. And we're being driven out. You come here and you marry 4 or 5 women and you outbreed us. You change the laws. You make all of our country look like the places that you fled from. We don't want you here. Respectfully, get the fuck out of my country. I don't want you here. We don't want you here.
That's fine.
I don't want you here. I don't want you here.
That's fine, sir.
This is our country.
Well,
and
Chief,
the people,
the guys out there,
the veterans, the World War II.
For his web page, he's a senator or he's running for Congress or something like that. This is wild.
2 veterans that's blood has soaked for our constitutional republic are taking a look around Europe. They're taking a look around America, and they're saying, what the hell did we fight for? We have been taken over without a single shot fired. You guys are outbreeding insidious parasites on the American way of life. You will never look like us. You will never eat like us. You won't build buildings like us. You are nothing. You can build nothing, just like President.
Don't that sound like that dude that was talking to Vivek Rashami? Don't it sound like him?
Trump's great American friends have said, you guys are not us, and get the fuck out. America first, America only. God bless America. Jesus is king. Jesus is king.
Thank you.
Jesus is king. Jesus is king.
Thank you.
Jesus is king. Jesus is king.
Time has expired. Order in the chambers. Order in the chambers.
And that concludes our meeting for today.
It is wild. They and you can see, you can hear the crazy, you can hear the, don't nobody want to, you don't really want to say, there's some goofy shit going on, but there's some
by Muslims. Every single one of my friends who went to report on this as independent journalists was attacked.
Get that camera out of my face or I'll take it from you, okay?
Now, it's really important to point out that in America, we have the freedom of religion. So what is the problem with the Muslim faith and people that want to promote the Muslim faith within our country?
Today, the answer is Islamism, a radical and often violent form of Islam. Like fascism and communism, Islamism is totalitarian in nature. The state controls everything. Also, like fascism and communism, Islamism is inherently expansionist. It always seeks to get bigger, cross borders, and bring as many peoples as possible under its control. And like fascism and communism, many of Islamism's adherents are prepared to kill to achieve its aims. Those aims are antithetical to everything Western and other free societies stand for. Free speech, free enterprise, freedom to practice or not to practice any religion, freedom of assembly, a free press, and, of course, fundamental human and civil rights for all their citizens. Anyone who opposes Islamist expansionism is the enemy and must be destroyed. That, of course, includes the United States, all of Europe, and Israel.
As somebody who is completely committed to being America first, I support everybody's constitutional rights, whether it be freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, the Second Amendment, or freedom of religion. The problem with Islam is they are not coming here to assimilate with Western culture. They are coming here to dominate.
Tell me this don't sound like that boy. Tell me that one dude who was speaking to that council member, that Jake. Tell me that this boy don't sound like him. Tell me that boy don't sound like him.
Is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
Familiar with the 10 Commandments? You call yourself
That shit is wild. They sound the same. You can hear the goofiness in it. You can hear it in it. And people don't understand. We're at a tipping point. We are at a tipping point in this country where this is the kind of thing that's going on.
Literally. What are you doing? Assalamu alaikum, baby! Allahu Akbar! All night you waited to be in front of us. All night you waited to be in front of us. Takbir! Now what? All night you wanted to be in front of me. Where are you? Where's the crowd you want to burn? Where's the crowd you want to burn? Where's the three crowds you want to burn? Single file. Where are the three crowds you want to burn? And the single file. Single file. Hold on, let the ladies through. Yeah, keep that shot. You're going to. Have a good night. Jason's a coward.
Thank you for your service. Press? No, I'm just saying screaming.
Oh, yes, sir.
Screaming and yelling.
No screaming and yelling, otherwise your ass going to jail. But they got goofy shit going on, don't they? Hold on. But they got goofy shit going on. Right? I'm just showing you some of this shit that's going on.
So they want to pepper spray our people. We'll show them what's up.
You see what he trying to do? He trying to burn a Quran. That's just he's just trying to be an asshole. Bad. What is this? I don't understand.
Muhammad was a pedophile and a rapist.
Whoa.
You got another year on. I'm going to get a different one. Guys. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. This is our country. We're allowed to burn. On 9/11, pride was burned all over the country. Listen, this is America. This is our country. We have a First Amendment right here. We have a First Amendment right in this country. We have a First Amendment right in this country. We can burn any pedophile we want. Now this is our country. And the Bible, this is our country. No. You have burnt the Bible and beheaded Christians all over the world. It is our country. You beheaded Christians all over the world. You have burnt the Bible and beheaded Christians all over the world. Hey, we don't have a problem with any Christian. We don't have a problem with Jesus. We don't have a problem. This is America. This is for all. We respect everyone. United we stand! Divided we fall!
Why does he have the thing of bacon out there? Why is it that they're out there protesting with a pot of bacon, with a bag of bacon? Why is it such a problem? Even if this has been in the making, this connection to Muslim, the Muslim history, they have a deep history in Dearborn. Why is it that they have a problem with those people now? Okay. This started with the anti-immigrant rhetoric that the president brought to the forefront of this country. When you demonize a group of people, this is what happens. When you demonize a subset of people, this is what happens. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Okay, that these people, the Muslim people, have been in Dearborn since the 1900s. And then you have why was there an issue now? Now there's an issue because it's more than 50% Muslim country and they feel a Muslim town and they feel safe in Dearborn. They can't have one town for themselves. You want white towns for yourselves. So what's wrong with having a Muslim town for themselves? I don't understand. Why is it that you have many cities many towns that you can assimilate in, that you as a white person can stay in. Because this is primarily, I don't even count the black guy. I don't even count that one black guy because he's embarrassing all on his own. But I'm talking about the group of white people that showed up at this protest trying to say they didn't want Sharia, they didn't want Muslim people into their town. And you have thousands and thousands, hundreds, millions of cities where white people rule. And they act like they can't give this one particular city to these people where they've been all of this time. Not one problem. But it is what it is. Not one problem, and now they have a problem. Now there's a fight. And this is a direct result of the anti-immigrant rhetoric that has been pushed through this administration. A direct result.
Come on, chill.
And we have to remember, this person is running for a Congress position. This person is running for a Congress position, a Republican candidate in Senate, Florida Senate, right? And he's up in Dearborn. He's up in Dearborn joining demonstrations, saying this is a white country only. If you know that the country is becoming a minority and you're trying to fight the death spiral of it, you can't fight the death spiral of it. You just can't. It is what it is. He said it started at 30%. Now it's down to 7%. And it's like going rapidly that way. He has bacon in his hand.
We have a lot of people getting pepper sprayed because we're holding bacon. Is this not America? Right. How many people? These people here insulted us.
Trump absolutely opened the door for this. He absolutely opened the door for this kind of rhetoric, this kind of silliness. He absolutely opened the door for it.
Expression. I have bacon. Why are you This is why Dearborn, Michigan. This is why Dearborn, Michigan needs to be cleared and swiped of Muslims. They don't know how to behave. There's a church take out violent. It was I don't want to be anywhere near I don't want to be in church. I'll play with you Muslim sympathizers. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think we would have went all the way out of control like this if we would not have had this problem. We would not have heard this kind of thing from the president.
Now, the heated exchanges and clashes, shouting matches galore took place across downtown Dearborn and City Hall, with far-right activists making critical statements of Islam and Muslim protesters not taking any of it lightly and speaking up in defense of their faith and culture. One right-wing organizer's social media page called it a Christian crusade on Dearborn, but it was filled with anti-Islamic rhetoric. Meantime, Republican candidate for governor and truck driver Anthony Hudson was praised by CARE Michigan for having what it called a change of heart after initially planning to expose aspects of Dearborn for, quote, what it is. He backed off of those comments in a
Goofy J Money. Are we talking about the right or left, or are we talking about things that happen in Dearborn, Michigan? Goofy J Money. Are we talking about what happened in Dearborn, or are we talking about the right or left? Goofy J Money. Please focus. Some of y'all don't want to focus on nothing but goofiness. Okay? Focus on the task at hand, okay?
Apologized. Still, things got pretty tense, as you can see here, with again about 3 demonstrations led by multiple organizers taking place throughout the day.
We want you out. They're coming here giving us nothing but hatred. You can tell with the violence they do. We love them. As Allah tells us, be merciful to all people.
Now, the Dearborn Police Department did say earlier tonight that they were aware of minor incidents that took place throughout the day. Police really did advise the general public to not engage with any of those demonstrations. Meantime, it was the Dearborn Area Interfaith Network that sent a message out to the community, urging people to show how diverse the community is and how people are coming together to show Dearborn as being a place that works in cooperation and has a place for everybody, no matter the background. Reporting live in Dearborn, Dave Kinchin.
From
Pro.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, HQ, how you doing tonight?
What happened in your city? What's going on?
So, you know, I could walk to Dearborn and get there in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Where I'm at. I'm in my room right now chilling. I got Muslim neighbors on my block to the right of me. I got some Muslim neighbors. I got some white neighbors on the other side of me.
Mhm.
And Detroit, Dearborn, surrounding cities, we all have there's a heavy Islamic community in Dearborn and Hamtramck. We have a heavy Mexican community in Southwest Detroit. We got a heavy Chaldean community. We got a heavy Jewish community. We got a heavy mix of we got Asians in Ferndale. Everybody is in Metro Detroit. The only people spewing hate and violence are the redneck, inbred, incel racist folks. I'm the only one. And all of these people that came and spoke and came to this protest, they don't live in Detroit. They don't live in Metro Detroit. These people are traveling hours away to come and bother people that has done nothing to nobody, right? Like I said, I live in Dearborn. Dearborn is a beautiful city. It's heavily Islamic and heavily white. Dearborn has beautiful houses. It's a very, very rich city. The house prices are expensive. The schools are nice. It's a cool city. So I just kind of wanted to paint that picture from somebody who actually live here. Them people just wanted content, HQ. They just want attention and content. That's why they all got their phones in their hands.
Yeah.
They're not doing this because they really, Nick Fuentes is the make America First guy. So that's his movement.
Right.
He has a video showing how disgusted he is with the people that was super chatting him because he don't even believe the garbage that he spewed. It's the people that listening that go out here and crash out. So you was really 100% correct when you said it's the internet, because these people are making content for clicks and views, and then you got the incels that sit at home and don't know no better about life, that's eating it up and regurgitating it. And these people that they listening to don't even believe this shit.
See, they got radicalized. They came online and became radicalized over something that they had no need to be radicalized about. I understand that you don't like the fact that you may become the minority. I understand all of that, but this is a natural progression. The fittest survive. The man said 30%, then it was down to 7%. The fittest survive. It is what it is. You didn't start this land as a white person. You all didn't find this land. You didn't start this land. You're not native to this land. You came to this land and there were already people and systems here. So just because you came and you conquered doesn't mean it was your land. So now it's time for other people to be conquered and live on this land. I'm not saying people from Muslim race or community are trying to conquer the land. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's a natural progression for what is happening to happen. You're going to be a minimum or minority group in 25, 30 years. And then
they look
violence.
also.
Stop it, okay?
Yeah, they look at Muslims being in the government, black people being in the government, gay people being in the government as, oh, they're taking our country. When people are voting these people in, so the people these people are representing the majority of the group that they're running for office for, whether it's a mayor, governor, or senator. It's not like these people are just paying to get these seats. People are resonating with their messages, so they're voting for them. Whether it's the guy who just won New York, whether it's Mayor Sheffield who just won Detroit, first woman mayor of Detroit. Like, come on, but the white men in this country, like you just showed, they police everything. They feel like they have this authority over this country for some reason. And it's two things going on. They have a frustration with their women because they're not breeding. That's why they're being outbred. And they women, why would they women want to breed when they out here acting like this? With these goofy ass haircuts, goofy ass Nazi ass haircuts, no beards, no mustaches, just weird, just look weird. And then they're frustrated, sexually frustrated. They know that they're not having children. Like the man said, he jealous because, oh, you guys got 2, 3 wives. Most Muslims don't have more than one wife, by the way, especially in America. That's like a royalty Muslim thing. Most regular, what regular man that work a 9 to 5 gonna have 3 wives? I know hundreds of Muslims, they don't have multiple wives. Most Muslims lose their virginity to their wife. They meet each other in college, they fall in love, and they get married. These people are acting like these people haven't been here for generations. Most of the Muslims my age talk like me. They've been here for years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is ridiculous.
Right.
But I want to say this before I go, because you was cooking. I don't want to distract you. So people are saying Muslims are violent and they hate Christians. That's like the thing that they pushing.
Right.
I want to challenge everybody who listening to name me one Muslim person who's committed violence on a church, burnt the Bible, shot up a church, or it has some type of radicalized violence towards a Christian. One case of it in America, not 9/11. Just one case of when a Muslim attacked Christians. One case where a Muslim attacked a church. But I can name you 2 attacks on the church this year, and they were both white men. Every attack I ever heard on the church was white men since the civil rights, when they were throwing bombs in churches and killing little girls, to just a couple months ago, where here in Michigan, that white man drove his truck through a church and set it on fire. But I didn't see a protest to go after those type of white men that are setting churches on fire and shooting people at a church.
Right.
Dylan Roof got prayed for in a church and killed the people that was praying for him. I don't see people protesting that. But you come and disturb peaceful Muslims who ain't doing nothing but cooking and serving the community, peaceful in their own little bubble, but you ignore all the actual murders your people are committing in the same churches that you think you're protecting. You have nothing to say about that. That's a common sense problem. That's why you're an incel, and that's why I suspect you're inbred, because being inbred affects your cognitive functions. Being inbred affects how you can critically think. You gotta be something on a chromosomal level gotta be wrong with you for you to attack peaceful people and ignore the people that's burning down churches. That's it, HQ. I love you. Keep cooking, baby.
Thank you. We're gonna have a short bit. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's listen to the interview of the mayor of Dearborn. Okay, the mayor of Dearborn.
Titled in Arabic. Why did my caption both in English and Arabic? People get frustrated by this, but to me, it's like I actually disavow the use of the term "the melting pot." I actually don't like it. Why? Because in a melting pot, when you're talking about like a soup, everything looks the same.
So the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan recently appeared on a podcast, and on said podcast, he decided that it was important to disavow the idea of a melting pot. He said he was absolutely against it, that the idea of assimilation is actually a bad thing, and he ended up using the leftist analogy of a salad where all the things are together, and he says they complement each other, but they are distinctly separate from one another. And I am not surprised at all whatsoever by the fact that he decided to go down this road. However, what is also missed in this particular podcast are a number of ridiculous and absurd lies, including him trying to reframe what went down at that city council meeting, where he told the resident that he was not welcome in the city of Dearborn because how dare he question the Islamic faith in a city where Muslims have become the majority. And this is what we're going to talk about today: the refusal to assimilate, the attacks on American values, and of course, this Michigan mayor, the mayor of Dearborn, playing victim all the way through. But before we get into that, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay.
You know, I was listening to a podcast with Zohran, and one thing he said that people aren't afraid that it's not going to work. They're actually afraid that it will work.
Correct.
And when you have...
It was a great podcast episode.
It was. And when you listen to that and be like, wait.
People aren't afraid that the Muslims won't assimilate. People, specifically white people, are afraid that it will work. That's what he's saying.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
So right off the top, we are operating on a false premise throughout the course of this podcast. The premise being laid out by this podcast host, who is the host of the Not From Here podcast, which I guess is fitting, although I do believe the mayor of Dearborn was actually born in Dearborn, Michigan, but whatever, we'll set that aside because I guess they're trying to make a play on the idea that they're not from here, the guests on this particular show and the host. And the premise that is laid out is this idea that when we talk about diversity and the problems of diversity, we're not actually afraid of the experiment not working. What we're actually afraid of, what we're actually worried about, and by we mean the evil white racists that are under every rock, is that it will work, that it will work so well that it will reshape America in all these positive ways, because as we all know, what people are truly concerned about among divided communities is that they're actually secretly low-key the most united communities of all. Now, of course,
thank you, Tehilism, for the $4.99 super sticker, super chat. Thank you. Thank you.
This is ridiculous. This is absurd. In reality, I grew up in a community that was ethnically diverse, and I do think that community 100% worked. I have friends from different ethnic and religious backgrounds. I am thankful for my upbringing. So the idea that I would be afraid or concerned that this could work in Dearborn, Michigan makes no sense at all whatsoever. In reality, what people are concerned about is that when Muslim populations tend to go towards a majority, they start enacting enacting laws that are based on their faith. And all of a sudden you get that switch up, which is they ask for freedom and tolerance because it's according to your values when they're in the minority. And then when they're in the majority, that's when they stop tolerating you and they take away your freedom because that's according to their ideology. And by the way, that is what was indicated by this iconic clip of the mayor attacking a resident and telling him that he was not welcome there. But more on that just a little bit later. I want to get into this analogy related to diversity and the melting pot that the mayor actually rejects. He says that he disavows, because I think it is incredibly crucial to understand the mindset of these people who, by the way, we're not just talking about Muslims, but we're talking about people in the Democratic Party and how they feel about American society.
I mean, the fear of different, because what you often hear that's accompanied with that as well, you must assimilate. I shouldn't put out a magazine that's in 2 languages. Why can't you speak English? Why are my videos subtitled in Arabic? Why is my caption both in English and Arabic? People get frustrated by this.
So look, I'm going to say 2 things about this language issue. And I think one of them you guys largely are going to agree. And the other one, it's going to be about 60 to 75%, depending on if you actually listen to my entire point. So first and foremost, the thing that I think a lot of you will find a bit controversial, which is I actually don't think politicians messaging in other language is necessarily a fair criticism of said politician, because in reality, certain constituents speak different languages. And when you have immigrant populations come to the United States of America, it is often true that in the United States of America, the parents will speak the language of the homeland and the kids will learn English at school and essentially work as translators or intermediaries for that previous generation. And in reality, if you're a politician at that moment in time, especially when we're talking about the campaign or announcements, you kind of have to meet your constituents where they're at. And I say this if it's Arabic, in this particular case of Dearborn, Michigan, or if it's Korean, or if it's Chinese or Spanish or whatever, because in reality, if you're a politician and you're not messaging to a significant portion of the population, what's ultimately going to end up happening is that you will lose to somebody who is. So I actually don't think that that is the fairest criticism. That being said, people should learn English in the United States of America. They should make the effort to do so.
I'm not going to even argue with him. Yes, if you come into America, maybe you should learn English. That it should be enough, but it's not our official language. It's not our official language. But in order to assimilate, in order to get along, in order to understand the parameters of this country, maybe you should learn English. I'm not averse to saying that, right? But all of this,
their children should do so, because it ends up isolating them from broader society when they don't speak the common tongue, the common language, one of the very few things we share in this country together, which of course is the English language. So overall, I do think there should be a push to have English as the official language of government, to get people to learn English. I like that the citizenship test is not given in multiple languages, so you have to actually know English in order to become a United States citizen. I think that's good. I think that's smart. I think that's intelligent, because we do need something that commonly binds us. But
yeah, I believe in the same thing. So, I mean, it makes sense to me what he's saying.
But I don't think that politicians that have to deal with the practical realities of decades of national immigration policy, that it's actually on them in order to like uphold this standard and lose ground to another politician who will not do so. So in this particular case, I do partially agree with the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. However, overall, it is a good thing, and it is something that we should push for, that everybody should go for a common language, and we should push people, especially if they want to become citizens of this country, to learn said common language. Because again, that is the kind of thing that separates people, and it's an example of diversity not working, the thing that we're actually worried about, not this magical thinking where everybody's worried that will work so well that they'll be embarrassed by how well it will work. But the next thing I got to talk about is just insane. It's asinine. Let us get into this.
But to me, it's like, I actually disavow the use of the term the melting pot.
He is the current mayor. He's current person, and he's Arabic or Muslim, or and he's Americanized. So this is him talking.
I actually don't like it. Why? Because in a melting pot, when you're talking about like a soup, everything looks the same.
Right.
We're the salad bowl. The lettuce is lettuce, the tomato is tomato, the cucumber is cucumber, and they all complement each other. Here in the city, we celebrate the unique cultures we have. We celebrate the unique faiths that we have. We celebrate the people that we have. We're not asking you to give up anything. It's as American, you are as American as anyone else, regardless of any of that. And I think that is what people fear.
So first and foremost, I disavow this mayor's understanding of the melting pot analogy. And honestly, I think that this is borderline something that you should denaturalize somebody over, even though, again, he's actually born in Dearborn, Michigan, and therefore is a naturalized citizen. The melting pot in no way, shape, or form refers to soup. You do not throw all of the ingredients of a soup into a pot and then melt it into one glob of one individual ingredient. That is not how soup works. Have you ever cooked anything in your entire life, you absolute dumbass? The melting pot often refers to like melting metals. The idea is that you melt down all of the components and you forge something new, something that is unique, something that is stronger than before, something that is inseparable. How the hell did this guy bungle this analogy that badly? Again, this might be the cultural separation, the problems that we need to engage with, the diversity failing every way humanly possible, that this dumbass thinks that you melt soup together. Again, what the hell is wrong with you, you absolute idiot? Secondly, the salad analogy is designed specifically to keep us separated. Sure, we're all in one place. We're all together. You know, the lettuce is lettuce, the tomato is tomato, the cucumber is cucumber. But in reality, you could separate out the ingredients of a salad and no problem because there is nothing combining them. In fact, the soup would be a better analogy because even though the ingredients are all together, definitely not melted down like this dumbass thinks, they actually end up combining in terms of flavors. So even if you were to take out some of the vegetables in the soup, if it was simmering long enough, they would be changed in terms of their flavor composition by the fact that they were once joined in this combined state. This is not true for a salad. Again, the lettuce that is in a salad could become the lettuce that is in a taco or a hamburger or a tomato or whatever. And you guys might think I'm going a little bit too crazy on this particular analogy, but the fact is, the reason the left uses the salad as the analogy is because they want to highlight the separation of American society, the fragmentation of American society. And this is against the common goal of, again, forging something new and something stronger. But again, it should not be surprising that the mayor is going with this particular analogy because he is somebody who is perfectly willing to kick people out of the salad bowl, telling them they're not welcome because they dareth question his Islamic faith.
We're not asking you to give up anything. It's as American, you are as American as anyone else, regardless of any of that. And I think that is what people fear.
Exactly the opposite of what America's supposed to represent.
Of this image that they have of America. I think Abdullah is a beautiful Muslim Arab name, but it's also a beautiful American name. You know, and people might not be able to pronounce it right, but we'll get there. If you can say Daenerys Targaryen, you'll eventually be able to say Abdullah Hamid. So people fear what they do not know. And ignorance is a very radical thing. But we invite anybody to come ask a question rather than allowing that vacuum of knowledge on a particular submatter or people to be filled with hate.
Again, this is not what people fear. And by the way, I just realized that the host of this looks like an Arabic Zach Galifianakis. Maybe I'm a little bit afraid of that, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, you're not being asked to give up anything. You're being asked to take on parts of the American identity. Again, this guy just does not get it, but we should not be surprised by that because he lives in a city that is rife with controversy, a city where you see the Muslim call to prayer being blared at 5 a.m, where according to their own town hall meetings, they actually have to have the police go to the mosque and break their machines so they stop violating the noise ordinance, because in reality, what he wants is Islamic supremacy. Make no mistake about it, they have gotten to the point where they're the majority, and he is trying to make that point while trying to sound more liberal and more accepting than other people with this public face. But we got a peek behind the curtain in that town hall meeting, which, by the way, we have to go over that exchange because I think it's absolutely crucial, because they talk about it in this podcast and the mayor lies about it.
This one, you kind of made the headline.
Yeah.
At the city council meeting.
Yeah.
That one's tricky, right? Because the clip, the way it was clipped in the way to show you in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of, it's different than having a headline saying Dearborn is this, and then seeing a clip of video and chopping it up to make sure that it shows that Dearborn is this.
Yeah.
Right. All the media that I watched about that specific event, it was chopped up. None of them had you saying, well, you're the one that's filled with hatred. You're the one that does this. They completely eliminated that part.
Of course.
Yeah.
So right off the top, I just want to point out that the podcast host, our Arabic Zach Galifianakis right here, is going to lie. He's going to make the case that the real issue with that clip from the city council meeting was the fact that it was cut out of context by people in the media. And one of the things that I want you guys to look out for whenever you're observing media, because this is a common trick that people tend to utilize, is when they claim that something is out of context, but then do not provide you said context, you should have antennas going off in your head, because obviously something is not adding up. Obviously, that square peg is trying to be hammered into that circular hole, because if it was actually out of context, if it wasn't as bad as was portrayed by all these deceptive people in the media, then we would see the additional context right here. But the thing is, we actually showed huge portions of this particular exchange on this channel. In fact, almost in its entirety, except for some ums and ers. And the reason I wanted to show you guys that is because in context, what the resident was complaining about was the naming of some streets after an individual who had praised Islamic violence, not just in the Middle East, but in the United States of America, and talked specifically about fighting with fists, fighting with planes, fighting with knives. Let me play that portion of the context that was just ripped away because the man was just an evil white racist, according to this lying podcast host.
Sure. I mean, I'd love to discuss this. I just want to finish the quote because this is more. Okay, I'll continue. Whether we are in Michigan and whether we are in Jenin, believe me, everyone should fight within his means. They will fight with stones. Others will fight with guns. Others will fight with planes, drones, and rockets. Others will fight with their voices, and others will fight with their hands and say, "Free, free Palestine." So I just find it very concerning.
Now, I think it is perfectly reasonable, perfectly acceptable for somebody to question the renaming or the naming of streets in their area, especially if that naming is in fact done in order to support a radical. One of the things that I found disgusting, again, in the full context, is that you had another representative on the city council telling the guy who's bringing up these quotes that he was not allowed to characterize what he thinks the quotes mean at the city council meeting, as if they have the authority to tell you what to say at a city council meeting.
Well, this is
I'm going to stop you because he's not a violent person, and you can interpret his words any way you want, but I will guarantee you he is not intending to incite violence anywhere in the world.
Well,
he could defend himself if he were here, but
sure,
we're not going to allow personal attacks in our community.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just reading his words here.
That's fine, but you're interpreting his words after you read them. He did not use the word violence, did he?
Well, may I continue the rest of the quote?
Well, if you say you want to read them, you can read them. If you want to interpret and give your own opinion of what he's thinking, that's a different story.
Okay.
So Arab Galifianakis can just shut the hell up with the idea that the full context ends up clearing this guy, because of course he went on his rant where he called this guy a bigot and said he wasn't welcome in the town, and it was based on this. Let us play the rant with the part where he labels the guy a bigot so you guys can hear that for yourself before we get back to this particular podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Spire. Sir, if you'd like to step forward.
I think the only comment I'm going to make, not
Mayor?
looking for a rebuttal, is the best suggestion I have for you is to not drive on Warren Avenue, or to close your eyes while you're doing it. His name is up there, and I spoke at a ceremony celebrating it because he's done a lot for this community. And I think it's quite hypocritical to know that you're approaching this podium when you yourself have videos on YouTube standing in front of my mosque saying the cruelest of things about Muslims, about the religion of Islam, because you are a bigot and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city. because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence. You're somebody who tries to preach it, but in fact, you do everything but that. So I just want to put that on the record.
Okay.
Damn.
Mr. Clerk, I know that you're back on the mic. One second. Sir, yes, go ahead. State your name and address.
God bless you, Mayor. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Also say that I'm an apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you dropped. So how are you? I sit silent.
So that is the context. And by the way, I will link my previous video on this in the description of this video. And I will also link the entirety of the exchange with the time code in the description.
You will not even be here when it comes to ending the United States ending or the United States moving into a more integrated society. Half of y'all won't even be here. And you ranting and raving at the moon because some things are changing. Just control your little square. That's the problem with most people. You don't want to control just your little square. Don't worry about whether I'm the seed of Satan. Don't worry about whether I'm gay. Don't worry about whether I'm X, Y, and Z. Why is it that people don't want to worry about their own damn square? You ain't even going to be a thought on somebody's mind if and when they decide Sharia law is the law of the land. You won't even be a thought in anybody's mind. And yet we have people going goofy and nuts about stuff that they can't even change. And you shouldn't even be worried about. You should be controlling your square. That's it. That's the only thing you can control. When these people go to other cities and protest because there's immigrants here, immigrants there, celebrating Sharia law, X, Y, and Z, you're stepping out of your square into other people's square. And you can't control other people's square unless it's through violence, unless it's through legislation. And no legislation is going to work to interpret people's behavior. This is wild. They go to Dearborn because they didn't like the fact that it was a bunch of Muslims, Arabs, Yemenis, I can't say the name, but because it's a lot of people that are there. The whole point is it's changing. It's been changing. Those people have been coming to Dearborn since the 1800s, 1900, early. So now we have a problem, and this rhetoric started because of this president. I truly believe this rhetoric started because of this president. We have went down the wrong rabbit hole. We have followed a clown down the rabbit hole. I truly believe that. This is wild. Let me see.
As well, it will all be labeled in the center of the description box like it is each and every time under where it says sources. Again, individually labeled with the time codes. Watch it in the full context because no, in no way, shape, or form was it taken out of context. Was it misconstrued in any way, especially on this channel where I covered way more of the exchange than most people did.
Here's what I'll say about it. Okay. Understanding the sensitivities around it. In that moment, I think what people saw and heard was me speaking out as a father who was not going to stand by and watch my daughters be vilified because of their faith.
You did take your mayor hat off.
In many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very common for me to respond that way. And, you know, this is an antagonist who's been doing this for years in the city of Dearborn.
So this is blatantly a lie right here. You guys understand what's going on. He said, oh, I took off my hat as the mayor and put on my father hat and was defending my daughters from these vicious attacks from this individual. Again, I played you the clip in a previous video. I linked it in the description, the entirety of the exchange. Show me where the man mentions his daughters. Show me where this became an attack on his family. The guy is an absolute liar. And by the way, he never apologized for saying that a resident of Dearborn, Michigan was unwelcome in the city because he didn't like the fact that he was proselytizing in front of his mosque, that he disagreed with Islam. And now he's saying that the guy was attacking his daughter when that's not what was happening. He was going after the the naming of a street or two streets based on the guy who they were naming it after being a so-called journalist that was calling for Islamic violence across the world. That absolutely has nothing to do with your daughters, you absolute liar, but we're pretending right now that in reality it was just an evil white racist that was going after his innocent Baba Angel daughters.
And this isn't new to City Dearborn. I'm the kid who grew up in post 9/11 era where I had a gun pulled on me days after saying, keep walking before we decide to shoot you Muslim kids. Where we were in the Arab American Festival, people were marching through with pigs' heads on spears saying, we've dipped our bullets in pigs' blood, so when we shoot you, you go to hell. And the festival was canceled because of a lawsuit that happened. Terry Jones wanted to come with 3,000 kerosene-ridden Qur'ans to Dearborn to burn them all here. In Dearborn, he wanted to burn them specifically or throw them in the toilet. You remember those days? And we grew up in the post-Iraq war and all that, and all that, Islamophobia and bigotry that came our way. And those are all experiences I grew up with. I grew up in that era.
So this mayor was born in 1990, meaning that he was around 10, 11 years old after 9/11, depending on what month he was born in. And the idea that he had a gun pulled on him at 10 or 11 and they said, keep walking, Arab, after 9/11, I find that incredibly questionable. I find that quite doubtful. I'm not saying 100% that it didn't happen. If he has documentation in order to prove it, then I will say, you know what, I guess it did. But for me, this seems a little bit disgusting that you would make the Islamic terror attack of 9/11 about the victimization of Muslims, something that is very common among these Muslim candidates. I don't know if you guys know this, but after a terrorist attack, the most impacted group is the innocent, peaceful Muslims, as Norm Macdonald said.
I can't say my friend's name, but he said his biggest fear is that ISIS or some terrorist group like that will get a hold of a dirty bomb and explode it over a major city within the United States and kill tens of millions of people. Because then the blowback against innocent Muslims would be absolutely terrible.
Yes, that's right.
That's true.
Regardless, let's hear more about how he's the true victim right here.
And so it was tiring that even till this day, antagonists are still surfacing, coming to the city to provoke because they fear the idea that coexistence is working and is successful.
Hold on, I ran across this. What the hell is going on with y'all? Does this encapsulate some things right here? Listen.
We are moving into the psychotic break stage for racist white America. And I'm not trying to exaggerate. I genuinely think a lot of these people see their realities falling apart. They're not seeing the rewards that they were supposed to get from who they put in the White House. And it's causing them to lash out in every other area of life. The nurse in the hospital in Dallas, Texas, that's somebody who's lashing out. I am willing to bet any amount of money we all know who she voted for. And if she did, she's not happy. And she thought that he was going to be taking his frustration out on our community, but that ain't happening either. So she's going to do it. That officer at the football game, the officer who went out of his way to go and harass those football players in the middle of their game. Do you guys understand? There are so many football games that are played in this country. Thousands upon thousands of football games are played in this country at every level. Whether your team is winning or losing, people do not get that emotionally invested, especially law enforcement. They do not feel bold enough to do what that man did. But I'm telling you, this is a symptom of a larger issue. I believe, in my personal opinion, these people are moving closer to the psychotic break stage. All this time, they have been convinced the racism will win out. The supremacy that they are entitled to will win out. And the truth is, it's just not going to happen. It's not. When this is all said and done, none of the promises that were made will be promises that were kept. And as we transition out of the MAGA era, out of the era where they genuinely believed that they were going to reclaim this country in whatever vision they had for it, this will lead to psychotic breaks, all right? The mental health issue that's going to come post-MAGA is going to be, I mean, we're not even going to be able to understand how deep this was for a lot of people because their entire identities were wrapped up in the success of the era that we're in now. But unfortunately, there will be no success, and they will realize that they have hitched their wagon to something that was doomed from the beginning. But instead of accepting that, they will lash out like they always do. And we're seeing the beginning stages of that right now. We are moving into the psychotic breaks.
The psychotic break is going on. I don't know what's going on, but they're breaking up with MAGA some way, somehow. What's going on?
On the district to remove Turning Point USA from Saguaro High School's campus. They state that the club promotes, quote, hate, division, and discrimination, but
Whoa, what's going on at Turning Point USA? What's going on at Turning Point USA? Let's back it up. Listen to what's going on at Turning Point?
So the petition calls on the district to remove Turning Point USA from Saguaro High School's campus. They state that the club promotes, quote, hate, division, and discrimination. But district officials say that allowing all clubs on campus is state law, and the petition won't change that. At Saguaro High School, clubs usually compete to find new members, not the right to exist. But recently, one new club has found itself at the center of a campus debate.
I had to take a step back because just even someone thought that this should be allowed on our campus was crazy to me. Sports, but I recently stopped doing them.
This 17-year-old junior, who didn't want to use her name, is one of several students at the school who recently started a petition to ban Turning Point USA from their campus.
We all just kind of agree that this should be nipped in the bud. And I feel like the petition just kind of proves that.
Started by Charlie Kirk, the National Conservative Youth Organization has made its way to dozens of schools and universities across the country, including over 30 here in Arizona, and as of this fall, here at Saguaro.
Yeah.
Okay. But for some, the addition hasn't been embraced.
This specific organization and having a chapter at the school, I feel like just opens up a pathway to able to spread hate and discrimination and division under a facade of religion.
So far, the petition has received over 900 signatures on change.org, with dozens of comments about the organization.
And this is wrong, and this is what we can't have in our schools.
Amy Carney, a district board member, is just one of the decision makers listed on the petition. But she says this petition is something she doesn't agree with.
The last thing we need is more negative rhetoric in our district, and that is what this petition is to me.
Amy says that Arizona law mandates that school districts allow students to have the right to organize and participate in clubs. And this club should not be treated any differently.
They have every right to do it. Anyone does.
And we did receive response from the district. They said that essentially they cannot prohibit any clubs again from coming on their campuses. They can address specific violations, but they do have other Turning Point USA chapters at several of their other schools, and there has been other concerns that have been brought up previously. But again, it's state law to have these clubs.
Michaela, thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the there's nothing wrong with the clubs. There's nothing wrong with Turning Point clubs. People have the option. The whole point is to have the option. Here's the thing. How do we get here where we allowed a leader like Donald Trump to demonize what made our country great and different and unique? How did we get to this point? And I think he tapped into that. I think Donald Trump tapped into that fear, mostly white fear though, okay? Mostly white fear. And this is how you have us in this position right now, where we are, okay? Where we are. People are afraid of immigrants, afraid of them taking jobs. It only took a couple phrases for them. It only took a couple people. But see, this is an earlier version this is a later version of the Tea Party. The Tea Party got started because Barack Obama got elected. That's where the Tea Party, this is where this really started. Okay? This is where it really started. People got afraid of the fact that Barack Obama got elected. They were afraid they were going to become the minority. They wanted to stop becoming the minority. And this is sort of how it came about. Okay? How it came about. Just because we talk about Trump and we say things about Trump don't mean we're deranged. The two things can be true. We can have derangement syndrome about Trump, and Trump can be a shitty president. Both things can be true. Both things can be true. That's the problem. Both things are true. We have a shitty president, and there's derangement syndrome. Derangement syndrome on you all's part, though. But we got a lot of people in this country that feel financially insecure, food insecure, religiously insecure. We got a lot of people who feel a certain type of way. And leaders like Donald Trump who use these scapegoating, gaslighting politics to point to immigrants as the reason why you don't have a good job. There's crime in the country. All of these things, Donald Trump hit the points of. He hit the points. You don't have good jobs because of immigrants. You have crime in the country because they send their worst over here, X, Y, and Z. Our country is being messed up again. Donald Trump played on all of that. This is why Dearborn, Michigan is happening. Because Donald Trump played on this. It's an emotional trigger and people fell for it. The country is changing demographically, technologically, globally, culturally. It's just changing. And white folks feel as though they're being left behind or marginalized out. And the honest to God truth is, you are being marginalized out because that Jake Long guy said, used to be 30%. Now white people are down to 7%. Okay. So it is what it is. We can't, there's no way to change it around. People are going to mix race. People are going to assimilate. You're going to have Muslims here, Christians there, Catholic nationalism. The only reason why people like Nick Fuentes has become an issue is because white people have become afraid of the inevitable tide of their losing their power. Okay. And Donald Trump tapped into that fear. Okay. This fear got tapped into so deeply. The man said, there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing we can do about the inevitable drift of time. Okay. The fact that we have a mixed country is almost a very good thing. I enjoy seeing different people. Who the hell wants to walk around a world in which everybody is blonde-haired and blue-eyed? Then everybody would become the same. Then there would be no point in having any kind of changing of what? It's wild. It's wild. Y'all hit the like button. Why is it that everybody come in and don't hit the like button, and you know the like button needs to be hit in certain ways? The like button, subscribe button, share button, all that good stuff. even though this is a short session. This is a very short session. I only did it for an hour and a half, 30 minutes. But all of this stemmed from the rhetoric that we got from Donald Trump. Okay. The whole point is we need to combat this anti-hate rhetoric. These are human beings. We're all human beings, not just statistics. Immigrants do X, Y, and Z. But you have to start telling stories about real immigrants, real people that you talk to, real people that you know. Okay? Most people want the same thing. Good family, good schools, good food, good homes. Most people want the same thing. Okay? And trying to say that the country is being overrun by immigrants and they're taking jobs, they're doing crime and all of that. I don't know how many people I have talked to who have said that same kind of rhetoric, and I have never ran into any foreigners that have done anything like that, or Mexicans, Hispanic, Muslim. I have never ran into any mean people in this country. Okay. And you saying we cannot make room for other people, other races, other immigrants. I just don't understand. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look. I don't understand. Oh, you mean, yeah, where's his, is it the one where he is disgusted? Turn of his audience. Yeah, but that's the thing. He is a symptom, and people let this young man become more important than what he really is. He shouldn't have any kind of sway on the way our policies and things like that go. There should never be a person that has that much influence, because I don't want him to have I don't want to have anything to do with a person that doesn't understand other people belong here too. He's Mexican, which is really crazy to me, how he has the nerve and the gumption. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me play this clip. This is a person explaining the contempt he has for his own people.
Establishment Republicans that ended up accidentally creating the monster of Trumpism, the monster of MAGA. And what we're witnessing now is history repeating itself, because now the monster of MAGA is creating the monster of Nick Fuentes and America First, let's call it, because that's what he wants to call it, right? So, and the same way that Trump was like mocked and derided and dismissed in 2016, and then he went on to win, it feels very similar what's going on now with Nick Fuentes, where like his particular ideology and mindset of just white nationalism, the like a more pure breed of white nationalism, that is going to replace this MAGA shit. Well, what if I told you that process is now rapidly speeding up even more? And now you have Nick Fuentes' ideology is looking to potentially be replaced with something even worse and even more aggressive. Ready? So watch this.
The narrative is that you have moved more to the center with a colorblind populism position in the recent past. Regardless, there is a growing coalition further to the right than where your voice currently resides. Not Hermes or the Gypsy guy, but others. Would you support more optical, relevant guys who are further right to the right than you?
There's nobody further to the right than me, but I appreciate that. I think there are sickos. There are sickos that are filled with hatred.
So a guy who said, I admire Hitler, a guy who said Hitler was really fucking cool, he goes, I'm as far right as there could be. There's nobody further to the right than me. There are sickos. It gets funnier. Ready? Here we go.
You know, when you say further to the right, you mean people that are attacking kids in public, people that run up to a person with their kids and start yelling at their kids, people that go on Monkey and attack little kids. You think that's more right wing? I don't think that's more right wing. I think that's just sick.
So the establishment Republicans helped create the monster of MAGA. MAGA helped create the monster of Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is about to help create the monster of what? Something to the right of him. Something to the right of him. where it's not just the ideological white nationalism, it's the ideological white nationalism plus make a point of being extra cruel and barbaric about it, right? It's the difference between Fuentes' idea of like, let's deport all the non-whites, and then somebody goes further than him and says, why wouldn't we just kill them? Right? It's like the Ben Gvir, the smokers in Israel to their Netanyahu. Like that's what, there's somebody to the right of Nick now. They're going, wait, there are people to the right of you. Do you not realize that? Like, what if they're right and you're wrong? Unbelievable.
You think that's more right wing? I don't think that's more right wing. I think that should.
By the way, to answer his question, I do think that's more right wing. The further right you go, the more cruel, the more barbaric.
Yeah.
Of course, it's more right wing. If you say, let's deport all the non-white people, somebody's going to come along and say, let's just kill them. And that's going to be viewed as more right wing. That is more right wing.
Right.
Say further to the right, you mean people that are attacking kids in public? People that run up to a person with their kids and start yelling at their kids?
By the way, attacking kids in public, some people are doing that. They're called ICE, and you support them.
People that go on Monkey and attack little kids. You think that's more right wing? I don't think that's more right wing. I think that's just sick.
No, that's more right wing. And there's more goofies out there. There's more goofies out there.
And we have to stop pretending that maxing out cruelty and meanness is being more right wing.
But it is. And the people who you're to your right who are saying that, they're correct and you're wrong. Like it's true. In your ideology, the problem truly is it's black people, it's Hispanic people, it's the LGBTQ community, it's Muslims, it's Jews. In your ideology, there is a hierarchy of how human somebody is. And if they're a minority, they are less human by definition. They're the problem, right? They are the parasites. They are the ones who are ruining your, white utopia.
Right.
So yes, it is more right wing for somebody to come along and say, okay, we agree that this is the problem. I'm going to handle them in a swifter and harsher way than you are.
Like the retards that be in my chat calling me a chimp and the N-word. Yeah, there's more racist, there's more trash piece of shits than Nick Fuentes. Believe that.
You just want to deport them. I want to kill them. That is more right wing. It is. There's no way around it, right? It's true. So now, again, he helped create this beast. All those fucking, the edgy, we're just making edgy jokes about Hitler when I say I admire Hitler and Hitler was really fucking cool. Well, some of the people who you were talking to, you were memeing, you were joking, they meant it. They meant it. Just like with Trump, all the shit they would meme and joke. Like he's going to stay in there if he loses. And then he tried to fucking stay in there if he loses right now with the fucking Trump 2028 merch. Oh, we're joking. It's just for the lulz until it's fucking not. And he tries to stay in there. So you guys are creating these monsters, these Frankenstein monsters, and you don't know how to deal with them.
We have to stop pretending that maxing out cruelty and meanness is being more right wing. It's actually not necessarily ideologically more pure to just be a dick.
But it is.
To throw shit at people, to yell at people in public, to just deliberately try to provoke people. That's different. So no, I disagree with that.
Bugman sent $20.
But this is why right-wing politics is a cesspool, though. Because insofar as you think the actual problems are these individuals, these people that are part of a group, whether it be Muslims or Jews or gays or whatever, then yes, the more harshly you handle those people vis-a-vis policy, the more right-wing you're going to be. Whereas on the left, the focus of our ire is the systems. It's the system of capitalism and the fact that it creates billionaires, for example, and corporations through their corruption rig the game and take all the bailout.
We always have it's just wild how people think of that victim mindset. It's just wild.
Take the subsidies, take the tax cuts, and we get screwed. We got nothing left at the end of the day. So to be more left-wing means to critique the system and fix the system. It means to tax billionaires out of existence, for example, right? To lean more into equality. Everybody gets treated equally under the law. Everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody gets free college and universal health care or free trade school and a living wage and all these different things. That's the more left you go, the more closer to equality you get. The more left you go, the more close to a system that treats everybody fairly and kindly you get. On the right, again, it's not about the system. It's about the individuals as part of a group. So blame the minorities. And yeah, the harsher you treat them, the more right-wing you're going to be viewed. So he's also creating a Frankenstein monster, and that is wild. That now every now and then he'll say something that, you know, his own people will call him a fucking sellout and they'll call him a race traitor and stuff because now you're not pure enough. So they've created this race to the bottom, which is why, one of the many reasons why, this is how Nick really feels about his audience. Ready?
Taking my girlfriend to Ireland over Halloween. She told me I need to get a costume. Going to be interesting when she asks why I only packed a Burger King crown in my luggage. Hashtag she need made the Caesar Augustus sent $20. How significant is the Siberia II deal between Russia and China?
I haven't read enough about it.
Judge Holden sent $10. What do you think about Kaczynski's thesis that modern ideologies, leftism, feminism, etc., are a symptom of the unnatural conditions faced
Oh my
by
gosh,
post-industrial
can you
tech?
fuck off and
Smash
kill
sent
yourself?
$15. Half the power of the keys is the power of binding and loosing. This power is first given to Peter, the foremost apostle. Later
Oh,
Christ gave this
right, you have no quote. You just have cope.
Red Pill Plug sent $50 as a near 100% ethnic German, knights Heil Hitler, and Heil Führer Fuentes, leader of the Fourth Reich, and above all, hail Jesus Christ who took the punishment on the cross which we deserve for our sins.
Oh
We
my
can win.
gosh.
It will take all of us creating solutions, a decentralized army. Christian Don sent $15. Do you feel the same amount of empathy for the children in the Holocaust as you do for the children in
This
Gaza?
how is he responding to the people that are sending him money? Is this what he doing? He's wow.
Yeah, I mean, to the extent that that's real.
Is there any room in your movement for orthodoxy? I ask this not because you are a Catholic, but because
Yeah, just stop being annoying as fuck.
Ryan MC Zoolski 3 sent $20. Is it such a bad thing that Palantir has our information compared to the CIA? Not to say it's a good thing, but the CIA and NSA have been spying on us for years. You think they haven't giving out information out as well? I get the whole. Does the rise of Palantir level out with the AF movement
That's wild. He's talking to his own people who've been sending him money, telling them to fuck off. Wow.
under a time crunch? If deployed against Americans, it could severely undermine two of our biggest strengths: online anonymity and the freedom to speak openly online. Any predictions on the direction the technology goes and its impact on free speech and privacy? Can you expand?
Thank you for the big super
Yeah,
chat. I
$10.
appreciate
Yo, what the
it.
hell?
I should have never told anybody about Palantir, man. It's
Not
just
sorry,
like,
sent $10. The H-1B Walmart employee told us her whole family came from India to help her after birth until their visas expired, while my fiance has next to no help with her white baby. Why do whites throw their people to the wolves? Leon DeGroy sent $200.
thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you very
Golden Harris
much.
sent $10. American exists because 132 Puritans decided they absolutely could not take another day in England and boarded a ship into the unknown. The most American thing to do now is to leave. Cannot continue to submit to taxation without Natus sent $50. Hey Nick, just started following you recently, and now I'm a big fan. I'm worried about how our country is going to be forever ran by Israel, and we will always be a puppet of them considering. Bro, I before life sent $10. My heart was shattered when you said you don't like American Psycho. What's next you're going to hate on Naruto? Albert Wesker sent $10. Do you think NPC theory is contradicted in any way by the mass awakening?
Obviously not. If anything, it confirms it.
Panic King sent $10. Not enough people talk about how we the people are obviously fed constant propaganda from TV to tits, but our politicians are probably fed even more propaganda. But about a center once, etc. I remember back in 2016 about Cambridge Naval and how they ran macro targeted ads to drive racial tensions. Dark post. You have completely opened my eyes to the
So these people sent him money. These people are actually talking, and he has contempt for his people.
truth in the last month, and I'm looking for some guidance. What advice would you give a 20-year-old Christian man in these times of bullshit the government feeds us?
Dude, just live a simple life. Just go fuck off. Live a simple life, honestly. Just like stop paying attention to politics. Live a simple moral life. What advice would you give to a 20-year-old Christian man in these times of bullshit the government feeds us? Dude, you will be being fed shit your whole life, okay? Because you sound like a shovel-faced idiot. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. You send me a nice message, but like when you say a line like that, in these times of government feeding us bullshit, like, dude, you just want to be fed. You want the government to feed you. You want me to feed you. Feed yourself, my friend. And if you can't, then
He's the one who started this. He's the one that is feeding this crazy shit. He's the one that's doing it to himself. This is his making. Now you got all of these people. He really don't want to be bothered with these people. He never really wanted to be bothered with these people. He wanted to be a part of the big leagues. He wanted to be like Tucker Carlson. That's what he wanted to be. Okay? And then they rejected him because he was too extreme. And so now he has all the dregs of society feeding him bullshit.
then just stop paying attention to politics.
Isaiah Hardman sent $12. Should likely start a Christian nationalist party in Utah and win a House seat? Or should name be Populist Party or Nationalist Party to high power level? Or shift over to
You could?
Golden Harris sent $10. Why do you push the globe narrative fake? There are no good optics to doing so. It's 2025. Maybe all the Zoomers are flex. The Catholic Church genocided millions of Protestants in the 30 years war and an uncountable amount of pre-Protestant sects of the church. What gives the Pope authority to represent Christ to the point of genocide?
Wow.
Based?
Samuel H. sent
No, I'm
$10.
kidding.
Is it even worth the money to hear all of this retarded shit?
I mean, he despises his own audience. He absolutely despises them. Which, I mean, it begs the question, right? Like,
Crazy.
is this just all like elaborate performance art? Because of course,
I don't know. Sometimes I think these people be on this internet. They just be on this internet cosplaying just to be grifting. They don't believe half the shit they be saying. I swear to God, some of these people be on here just saying any old thing, the most outrageous shit, so they can get likes and views. This is wild.
first there's the allegations. Remember with the whole Catboy thing where he like went and met up with some Catboy and supposedly got a thing for them. And, you know, there's been long time allegations that he may be gay. Remember when gay porn started playing on his stream when he ended it and then he blamed it on Israel? I mean, if you hate your audience this much, and now many of them are moving to the right of you, you could just not, like, you don't have to do this, bro. You don't have to do this. You can just wrap it up. You can just take up a new hobby, take up a new job, go do something else. It looks like your heart's really not even in it anymore, man. Like, you really hate these people. You really hate the people who are paying your fucking bills and who look up to you and stuff like that. So
That's wild. You all hit the like button. Why you ain't hit the like button? We got 60 people watching. We need some likes. I need at least 20, 30 likes. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. We have content like this once, twice a day. Today is the second session. This is our last video. Let's listen.
Know for a fact, but probably shouldn't repeat. Again, this is the consequence of wanting to be like a cosmopolitan, urbane kind of neo-Nazi social figure, but being condemned to spend time with your own audience.
30% of voters can't name all 3 branches of government, 13% can't name even one, and only 7% know all 5 First Amendment freedoms. 80% can't locate Iraq or Afghanistan on a map. Would you support a modern voter literacy test to incentivize more informed voting? Or any other solutions to incentivize more informed voting?
Maybe, I don't know. That's just like idiotic. You know, thinking the problem is like people, uninformed people are voting. Uninformed people are the only thing keeping the country going. The 20% of people that could find Iraq on a map are all liberals, okay? The 20% of informed voters that could find Iraq on.
He said the 20% of people that can find Iraq on a map are Democrats. That's wild. And he said it to his, and he said that to his audience. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
On a map, it's probably like 2% are veterans and 18% are like lib shits that went to college.
It's not too late, Fuentes. You've got money, okay? You've got a lot of money. You could drop all of this, move to Astoria, and just hang out with cute cat boys and e-girls for literally the rest of your life.
Now he hates what he created. He hates what he has created. He has painted himself into a box. He has painted himself into a box. Now he hates what he has created. And sometimes it's a mental thing. I don't know whether he's mentally off or not. I don't, you know, I can't say. But he has painted himself into a box.
Okay? You've got money to make America your playground. You can drop all this bullshit and just hang out with you don't have to. You can wear the designer clothing, okay? You can have the cat ears on. I'm not even making fun. You're in a hell of your own making. Oh, he will grift left later. No, I don't want him to grift left. I just want him to drop it. He doesn't like being surrounded by. Look, sometimes I think, man, I'm surrounded by autists when I look at chat, but I still think of you endearingly. He hates his audience, and who could blame them? At least you guys have charm and heart. His audience is full of like incel neo-Nazis. You're not gonna get like it's not just that they're autistic, right? They're like repugnant on every level, and he gets it, you know. As a live streamer, you can't cultivate a base of these people and then live divorced from them, right? Their attitude saturates your life. You begin to resent them, you know. You go live and you're like, oh my fucking god. You see the character of the people communicating in your chat and you're like, oh, that's cringe. You see some guy being like, you know, should I break up with my girlfriend? You know, she said she likes this show, but the show was made by a Jew. And Nick Fuentes is like, it doesn't fucking matter, dog. Can't you tell when I'm anti-Semitic? It's just for the fucking vibes, man. I don't give a shit. Come on. I'm being real. It's not a bit.
Right.
It's not a bit. Did you see that 3-minute long stretch of him shitting on his donos because they're all stupid? Well, yes, and that's kind of what I'm referring to.
Right.
Taking my girlfriend to Ireland over Halloween. She told me I need to get a costume. Going to be interesting when she asks why I only packed a Burger King crown in my luggage. Hashtag she need main. Caesar Augustus sent $20. How significant is the Siberia II deal between Russia and China?
I haven't read enough about it.
Judge Holden sent $10. What do you think about Kaczynski's thesis that modern ideologies, leftism, feminism, etc.
He can't even hide the contempt. That's the thing. He can't even hide the contempt. This is a hell of his own making, and he cannot even hide the contempt.
Alfira Fuentes, leader of the Fourth Reich, and above all, hail Jesus Christ who took the punishment on the cross which we deserved for our sins.
Oh
we can win,
gosh.
but it will take all of us creating solutions, a decentralized army.
No.
See, you hear the contempt. This is wild.
Oh, exactly. It's embarrassing. You want like a cool, like square-jawed, chisel jawboned army of Aryan warriors who, you know, they got the good shit posts online, but they're also socially competent, and they're, you know, they're militant, and they're imposing, and they're powerful. But this doesn't, it never shakes out that way, does it? Just move to Astoria.
Christian Don sent $15. Do you feel the same amount of empathy for the children in the Holocaust as you do for the children in Gaza today?
He crashed out and got mad at chat for saying Stalin was a Jew and called them retards. Yeah, because again, like, it doesn't fucking because he's acknowledged that the only actually believing in the JQ makes you a schizophrenic. Okay, it turns you into a lunatic. There's no way to believe in the JQ and be cool about it.
Right.
There's no way. I'm not even talking about the moral implications. It just turns you into a fucking loser, right? Like you'll be talking about how Stalin was based because of his, I don't know, jawline or something, and some sniveling retard who has never gotten pussy will walk up to you and say, "Wasn't Stalin a Jew?" This is an unsalvageable dynamic. I'm just saying he would be happier if he was up there with the e-girls in like a studio loft or something, you know?
Yeah, just give it up. You know, this hatred, this palatable hatred that you want people to have for other races, other minority groups. Just no. I think he's in a hell of his own making. And maybe he is a racist, maybe it is. But he didn't want to become as big as he has become and alienated himself the way he has alienated himself. This is wild. They need to put Donald Trump brought out the worst in us. Donald Trump brought out the worst in us. Specifically, the marginalized white guy. They brought out the worst, and that was one of the worst. Oh, Donald Trump is just like me. I'm an aggrieved white guy. So let me do X, Y, and Z. It's gonna get worse. I know it's growing, but no, I don't think it's I think the racist thing is getting worse, but I think the MAGA group is gonna die off. Politically, I think that's gonna die off, but regularly, I think it'll probably grow outside of the political arena because it's not sustainable. The blue wave is coming for the politicians. I think the blue wave is coming. White man fight back. Hey, we didn't understand what it was when Donald Trump was first president, but this is where it's at. This is where we are at. This is where we at. I appreciate all of y'all. Please hit the like and share, subscribe. Please do all of those good things. Please do all of those good things. Oh shit, it's already midnight. And you know HQ got to go at midnight. I appreciate all of y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Of course, we always have content that we doing 2 times a day, early, late afternoon, the evening. Please show up. I appreciate you guys. We're going to keep our eye on Dearborn. We want to find out what's going on up there. Hey, Ty, what do you think about that Black Coon guy being up there in Michigan? What the hell was going on with that? What? I thought he was from Atlanta. What the hell? How he have his ass up there? You see, he all in the mix of everything. And even I recognized who he was when I saw that video. I said, no, he didn't carry himself. No, he didn't carry himself up there to no doggone Michigan when he's from Atlanta doing this wild shit. Some of these people just do this stuff for content. And you're right, Ty Pro, Jake, Lang, the black guy, all of the people who showed up there were doing everything for content. And that's all they wanted to do was get some likes, some shares, some content, some name. Hey, there's some fame whores out there. There are some fame whores out there. Y'all, please hit the like and share, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow, maybe around, who knows, 12, 4, 1. We will be back. We will be back. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you all very, very much.